All right, today we're stepping into the cluttered garage and, the even more cluttered mind of an inventor. This isn't just a story about some shiny new gadget. Nope, it's about the journey, the really personal and ethical stuff that happens when you create something that could actually genuinely change the world. So let's dive in.
It's that feeling, right? That little spark that's both totally exhilarating and, as we're about to see, absolutely terrifying. It's that one idea that keeps you staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. because you really believe it could reshape our future. And that's exactly where this story kicks off.
So what is this world-changing idea? In this first part, we're going to get to know the invention at the very heart of this whole thing, the EchoDrive.
It's called the EchoDrive, and the concept is, well, it's kind of beautiful in its simplicity, but it's also revolutionary. Think of it like this. It's an engine that grabs all the energy we normally just lose as waste, like heat or motion, and it feeds it right back into the system. It's not just about being efficient, it's about actively recycling power.
Now, just let this sink in for a second. Imagine a car that actually gets better mileage the longer your road trip is. Seriously. Or a factory, usually a symbol of pollution, suddenly becoming a power source for the town next door. This isn't just a small step up, it's a total paradigm shift in how we think about energy.
But after that initial buzz, that I did it moment, something a lot heavier starts to set in. And that brings us to part 2, the weight of creation. This is what we could call the inventor's burden. This quote from the inventor, man, it just gets right to the heart of it. Creating something this powerful isn't just about a clever design. It comes with this immense, inescapable responsibility for whatever happens next. You just can't shake it. And that responsibility, it brings some very real, very specific fears. The kind of questions that haunt you. Is a piece of paper, a patent, really enough to protect this idea? And then there's the big one, the absolute nightmare scenario. What if the thing you built for good ends up in the wrong hands? Which leads us directly into our third section and really the core dilemma of this whole story. Is the EchoDrive a tool or is it a weapon? It's a question that forces our inventor to look at his creation in a whole new and frankly scary light. That is such a powerful line. It completely reframes innovation. It's not inherently good or bad. It has a dual nature. And the outcome? That depends entirely on who's holding it. And that is what keeps our inventor up at night.
And this just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? 2 possible futures for the EchoDrive. On one side, you've got the dream. Cleaner air, lower energy bills, a better world for everyone. And on the other, the nightmare. A weapon for huge corporations to grab even more power, control resources, and crush the little guy. The exact same tech, 2 completely different worlds. And here's the crucial thing to remember. This was never about profit or power for the inventor. His motivation was pure. He built it for us, for the next generation, hoping to leave this planet just a little bit better. And that just makes the potential for misuse even more tragic.
But, okay, it's not all doom and gloom. Amidst all this doubt, there are some really powerful reasons for optimism. And that brings us to section 4, a glimmer of hope. This is about what keeps the whole project from grinding to a halt.
See, the inventor isn't alone in this. His idea has started to find its people, the right people. Small communities, nonprofits, teachers, they all look at the EchoDrive and they don't see a weapon. They see the incredible tool it was always meant to be. And that's starting to restore his faith.
And maybe the most powerful source of hope comes from the next generation. Just picture it. Students from all over the world inspired by this idea, tinkering in their own backyards, emailing him with questions and their own wild ideas. That is what keeps the dream alive. It reminds him why he even started this thing in the first place. And this really makes the story so much bigger, The inventor's personal struggle is really a reflection of a universal truth. At the end of the day, invention is about this fundamental human desire to solve problems and just make life better. Not just for yourself, but for everybody. So that brings us to our final section, our shared journey forward. Because as we're about to see, this isn't just the inventor's problem to solve. It's a challenge that honestly involves all of us.
This is one of those haunting questions he keeps coming back to, and there's no easy answer. How do we as a society encourage this kind of game-changing innovation while also putting up guardrails to stop it from being misused? It's this constant, tricky balancing act.
And that right there is the key takeaway. We are all a part of this story. Whether we're the ones creating the tech, the ones making the rules, or just the ones using it every day, we all have a role to play in steering these big ideas toward a better future.
So what does the inventor suggest we do? Well, it's not a single solution. It's more of a continuous process. It's a promise to always ask the tough questions, to keep improving not just the tech, but our ethics around it. And, most importantly, to never ever lose sight of that original dream.
And so we're going to end right there, with the one question that the inventor asks himself and that he's asking all of us. There is no simple answer, but it's a question we have to keep asking if we want to build a future we can all be proud of. How do we, together, make sure that the amazing things we create actually serve to lift humanity up and not tear it down?